A lot of people may not know where Kyrgyzstan is, but they may have heard of the Silk Road. And from ancient times, that was the pathway connecting east and west. And Kyrgyzstan's literally located right in the middle of that. It's a very mountainous country. And historically, the Kyrgyz people were nomadic shepherds living with their animals up in the mountains and valleys. And they lived in yurts that were very mobile and that enabled them to move with the rhythm of the animals higher up in the mountains in the summertime when the grass is there, and then back down the valleys in the wintertime. And the Kyrgyz people are very warm and hospitable. Hospitality is the defining characteristic of their culture. But in the late 1800s, this area was colonized by Russia, which then quickly led into the Soviet Union, which heavily emphasized industry. And in this particular region, textile fibers were an obvious arena to focus on. So large factories were built for cotton, for silk, for wool, and it was something people were proud of because a lot of people were employed in these facilities, and their products were distributed all around the Soviet Union. And unfortunately, with the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s, just the centralized system that made it all work disintegrated, and a lot of these factories quickly shut down and began to be taken apart for materials, and the machinery ended up being sent far away. And so for a number of years, the just the raw material, fiber raw material from the region was being exported, and that's when a friend of mine in Ohio heard about the situation and had an interest in a vision to really try to help bring value added processing back to the country. And so I was interested to try to help that endeavor. And like I said, moved to Kyrgyzstan in 2010. And the original historic indigenous goat breed, particularly in southern Kyrgyzstan, which you're seeing here, was shown in the mid 2000s by some NGO research work to actually have very high quality cashmere. And this really was the genesis of our project, focusing on the cashmere because it had a high value. And our goal was to be able to isolate that high quality fiber and send it to the West for processing. And when we first started doing this, we had to work with the shepherds. At the time, they had been influenced to shear the animals in the spring when the fibers molting off the body. But we trained them to do what they originally had done in the past, which was combing. We had combs made and helped distribute them. And this is much better for the goat because it allows their hair to remain on and protect them from the elements, as well as also gives us the chance to preserve the length of the fiber, which is critical for higher quality processing. So in the springtime, as I said, this is when the goats are molting, when the people are combing the goats, people collect that fiber, and then we travel around. Our team of buyers buy directly from the villages and sort by quality grade and are able to give the people a lot higher value than they used to get. Because before they only were able to sell to middlemen buyers, whereas we are able to give them the market price and give them incentive for the cleanliness as well as the quality of the fibers. So we began working with this fiber. We sent it to Europe where we processed it into yarn, and that was the genesis of the June Cashmere yarn brand. And Amy and I met pretty early on in that process, and she's been a part of that ever since then and continues to oversee the marketing distribution of the June Cashmere yarn, which some of you I trust are aware of, and a lot of people have really enjoyed. But several years into that process, we had the encouragement to look at setting up what's called a dehairing facility in Kyrgyzstan. When we collect the fiber, we have to sort it out, make sure there's no contaminants, and then it needs to be washed. And then the second step is called dehairing because, as you remember from the picture of the goats have hair all the time. And then the cashmere is the fine, downy undercoat that they grow in the wintertime to stay warm. In the springtime, the body releases that, and as it's molting out, that's when we comb it. But a lot of the hair and vegetable grass and manure and dandruff and all kinds of stuff is in there as well. And that all has to be separated so that that good soft cashmere fiber can be isolated and ready to be spun into yarn. And so we had the chance to set up this facility. It just took a long time, just having to do the research, raise the capital to get it going. COVID delayed things a couple of years. And so it wasn't until January of 2023 that we were able to opened our facility and have been operating it ever since then, producing de-haired material, which some of which ends up as a June Cashmere yarn, and then other de-haired we sell globally to other yarn spinners that then make their own products with it. One of the interesting things in the last couple of years as well is the chance to also work with camel fiber from the broader region of Central Asia. And I have just really been fascinated with camel fiber. These animals live in incredibly harsh conditions, super hot in the summer, super cold in the winter, and this fiber enables them to survive in that. And so I just have really been fascinated. And we've been able to produce our first camel yarn, which Amy's in the process of marketing, distributing now. I've been really pleased with that.